Completed in 1917, the Missouri State Capitol is a 500,000 square foot living history exhibit of art, architecture, and state government, housing the offices of Missouri's elected officials and legislators. As part of the celebration in constructing the new Capitol, a time capsule was sealed in the cornerstone that would not be open for 100 years.
The cornerstone laid for the Missouri Capitol 100 years ago contained a time capsule that was extricated and opened last month. Inside were artifacts of the leaders from the early 20th century wanted to be viewed 100 years later to give us a glimpse into their times and culture.
That 1915 time capsule included copies of St. Louis, Kansas City, and Jefferson City newspapers, a copy of the amendment to the state constitution authorizing the construction of the new Capitol, and other historical items.
This was going to be the third state capitol constructed in Jefferson City in less than 100 years. The previous two had burned. There had been massive loss of material. A lot of reforms had taken place in this decade leading up to this new cornerstone, so there was a lot of pride in state government and a lot of pride in this new state capitol. This one is steel and stone, and hopefully it's going to last as a monument to their achievements and to good government well into the future, so the materials in the time capsule relate to the reports of government, which this is also the area of scientific management, lots of statistics, so you have reports from the various departments of government. It's a celebration of state government, state achievements, and of the new Capitol.
Conservators with the Missouri State Archives removed the items from the capsule, then began cleaning and preserving processes to ensure that the items last well into the future.
We were pleasantly surprised. Throughout the planning process, we had used the phrase, let's plan for the worst and hope for the best, because the lab has worked with a lot of counties and cities that have done time capsules, and sometimes they're just swimming in, wet and moldy, and so we were prepared to deal with that, but in fact they were dry, they were intact, and there was just a little bit of mold on the outside of the books, but it was a pleasant surprise. Once we got them to the lab, we used a HEPA vacuum to vacuum off the mold that we could, and then we used a special kind of a sponge that we use for dry cleaning to remove the mold, and then put them in an enclosed bin with zeolites, which are naturally occurring minerals that absorb odors. So they're helping to reduce that sort of musty smell that the books had. The other items needed humidification. They probably would have cracked had we tried to unfold or open them without some additional moisture. They were so dry. But so we cleaned those and then humidified them, and provided alkaline folders and boxes to store them in so that they'll be well preserved for the future.
A new Missouri time capsule will be placed in the Capitol to honor the 100th anniversary of the Missouri State Capitol cornerstone, and Governor Nixon invited Missourians to weigh in on what items should be included.
I asked Missourians to help provide us with ideas of what to include in that new time capsule. Items that would give a snapshot of the times in which we live to Missourians in the year 2115. Some of those items, such as copies of some of the state's leading newspapers, not only will give a glimpse into the news of our day, but also carry on the tradition from that 1915 capsule. Other items are a little more unique, such as the Chevy, Ford, and GMC hood ornaments that reflect how Missouri in 2015 is the leading producer of the top 3 trucks in the world: the Colorado, the Canyon, and the Aluminum 150. Some items will show the technology that is advanced for our time, such as the latest iPhone, which will be included in the time capsule. Although the iPhone may be to Missourians in 2115 what a pocket watch is to us today. There will be a piece of Missouri coal that we get 82% of our electricity from, that I'm betting 100 years from now, that's not where 82% of the electricity comes from. There will also be a book of the trails that we have in our state. As most of you know, Missouri has been chosen as the outstanding trail state in the country, and we want to designate where those were 100 years and hope that 100 years from now that network is greatly expanded. There will be a photo from the aftermath of one of the worst natural disasters to hit our nation, the Joplin tornado, so we can demonstrate the perseverance of the people of our great state. And some of the items in the time capsule, such as postage stamps and a key ring with keys on it, may be quite quaint artifacts in the Missouri of the future.
Despite there not being a lot of objects in the earlier time capsule, in the new time capsule, the objects that are going in, they all sort of reflect the same sort of sensibility in the state and its progress and its industry, and a certain hopefulness in the future that we're actually a society worthy of being remembered down the road.
The items for the 2015 capsule will undergo a preserving process, ensuring they are in good condition when the capsule is opened 100 years from now.
What we hope to do is recognizing moisture that was a problem in this time capsule. We suspect that related to the humidity at the time that the items were put in the box. Paper naturally has some normal water content, so we hope to acclimate them to a lower water content, so that, which is usually 7 to 10%. In a low humidity environment, they'll have less moisture in them, and so if we can then put them in the capsule, we hope that little bit of mold that we experience with this one, folks in 2115 won't have.
100 years from now, when the 2015 time capsule is opened in 2115, we hope our descendants will look upon its contents as a window into the past, to the things that Missourians in 2015 valued and hoped for the future. And hopefully it inspires them to continue the time capsule tradition that began in 1915, preserving their present for future generations. For a full list of items that will be placed in the 2015 time capsule, visit mo.gov/timecapsule.